This was just some quick news we're gonna go through real quick. Shannon Sharp and Mike Epps had squashed their beef late last year, early last year actually, on All Star Weekend in Indianapolis, and Mike Epps' hometown. And Mike Epps had an interview recently on Breakfast Club, and they asked him about the situation and everything. Would he go on Club Shay? And he just said that he just felt like it was a clickbait situation, not as far as with Shannon Sharp, but just the way that society is right now as a whole. It just needs to be even on all sides. And I'll get into that a little bit more. But as far as what Mike Epps was saying, I understand what he's saying because he's not really a messy guy. Even though he's had a situation with Kevin Hart in the past where they had their back and forth. Um, Speaking on the situation. But outside of that, he hasn't had really too many situations where he was messy or anything in the industry. So he's not trying to put himself in that position. He's not a guy that really has had as many opportunities as everybody else in Hollywood to actually go out here and just air out everybody's dirty laundry or to be calling people out. Um, he's not on that type of level. He doesn't feel like he's in a position to where he could just go out here and bash everyone. Because one, you don't want to burn all your bridges because one bridge that he burns probably tomorrow is probably the same bridge that could have got him on The Hangover, things like that, movies like that he was on that kind of surprised a lot of people. So that was a bridge he didn't burn. What if he did burn that bridge by going on certain interviews? Even though he's in a position where years ago he probably would have went on an interview like this, but now he's probably in a position where he's older, he's like, you know, I probably don't need to be taking those kind of chances right now, and also it doesn't really benefit my culture as far as black culture to go on there and degrade somebody else. And in me, I look at things a little different. Me and him are not the same, but as far as with me, if he can go up there and actually say some things that help a lot of people if they're going into the industry or they deciding to be into acting or whatever, um, something that could help them, that he could probably say. He don't have to go out there and say something. And if he does, I don't think people will actually judge him. So it's not so much that people are actually looking for a headline. I think it's more so a lot of the people who haven't been able to be in certain positions. A lot of people didn't have an Ice Cube that'll say, "Hey, let's pick this guy," or a lot of situations that worked out that Mike Epps, it worked out for him. You needed people to be in certain positions to get pushed forward. Everybody does. So a little advice sometimes help as well on these Club Shay interviews. It's not just the gossiping and everything else. And even as a community, a lot of people look at it as we need to know about the history that's happened. Um, I know we're airing out the business as far as online, but shoot, in real life, we're not really talking to each other anyways on a daily basis like we used to. And a lot of things do need to get cleaned up for it to get to a certain position. I know Mike probably liked the things the way they were 20, 30, 40 years ago, and it's not like that now because maybe we have been protecting a lot of situations and staying on code for the wrong thing. And that's why a lot of people need to go on Club Shay because they don't have an opportunity to go on other platforms like Entertainment Tonight. They get kind of shut down a little bit, and when they get shut down, they don't really have a lot of opportunities to air their grievances or whatever they have an issue with. They'll go on to Entertainment Tonight, air a 30-minute interview, and they only record a 30-minute interview and they only air what 2 minutes. So it's not good. A lot of people don't really get to express themselves. Cat Williams tried to express himself a long time ago about why he got arrested 50 times. And, we have people on radio stations, uh, God rest their soul, but make certain comments about that. So everybody was laughing about him behind the scenes, getting arrested so much. In the industry as well, they felt like he was a joke because he got arrested so much. And it put a dark cloud over him and messed up his reputation. And also, he had a lot of situations where he couldn't find certain work, or people was acting like they had an issue with him. And so every time he goes on the news and he kind of tells them what goes on, they kind of chop the interview up, don't put the truth out there, and he's back getting arrested again. So he tried to give the same kind of interview to Fat Joe during the pandemic and kind of shut him down. He said, "Nah, we're not doing that. I can't really prove all that and everything else, and that person's not here to defend themselves, blah blah blah." So Cat Williams got shut down as far as that, but it's a lot of situations where people have needed a platform to go to express themselves and why they felt like they've been cut short in the industry. And Club Shay Shay is definitely that. I don't think that a lot of people look at that platform as that being a place where, because 10, 20 years ago, you couldn't get a big audience like the one that Shannon Sharp has and go out here and tell the truth about what's happening to you in the industry. First of all, it's the truth. Second of all, it can be proven. Third of all, if it's in the black culture, people don't need to be cutting down each other. Um, First place. I'm talking about before it even hits the air. If somebody comes on the Club Shay Shay show and they say, "Hey man, somebody cut me out of money. They did this or took a deal away from me doing this," and it's true, I mean, that can't keep going on because they're gonna do the next person like that 50 times, 100 times. Now you got 100 families that don't want to, that can't eat because one person being greedy, and we don't want to call that person out. No, it's been going on too long in the industry. That's why we're in this position we are now. There's too many gatekeepers in the industry. There's too many people that's blocking people. We've had legends come out before Cat Williams and said guys were blocking them. We all know who and who I'm talking about that was blocking one legend from being in another situation or tried to. That's been happening going on for a long time. So a lot of people don't really appreciate certain things that go on. Last time I checked, Mike Epps don't got a. I mean, Ice Cube don't got an issue with Cat Williams, so he knows what kind of position Cat Williams is in. He ain't got no issue with him. Not saying that Mike Epps got a issue with him. I'm just talking about that's not a guy who he has an issue with as far as in the past. So he don't start mess with everybody. And also, a lot of people seen the work that people have done, Mike Epps included. He's deserved bigger roles than what he's got. And, the movies he has been in, he's done he's overachieved every time. He should have been had a leading role like Chris Tucker and Money Talks or something like that. But a lot of people overlooked him and really didn't give him a chance. But in the black community, when he filled in Friday when Chris Tucker didn't come back and Smokey, they really stood behind him and showed him that, he's not somebody that we just look at like, oh, well, you didn't do better than Smokey. To be honest with you, not too many people compare him to Chris Tucker. That's one thing that people gave Mike Epps respect for. They didn't call him they didn't go at him and try to cancel him when he went at Kevin Hart. Everybody mind their business. They didn't really question it. So he's already had a lot of respect in the industry, the community. But when they behind you. And that's really three big situations I just named that don't happen for a lot of comedians. So I can understand him not wanting to go out there and ruin that reputation of being somebody who's not really openly like that. But he has done it before with Cat Williams. I mean, not Cat Williams, but Kevin Hart. Probably Cat Williams as well. But I'm just saying Kevin Hart allegedly. And yeah, that was a situation where I felt like Mike Epps was right about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, how did Mike Epps get passed up from being one of those leading guys in the industry? You know what I'm saying? Possibly because he ain't selling out like everybody else is. You know what I'm saying? And that's why everybody was co-signing that. And it's like, he got to understand that, yeah, he done said something like that already as far as not selling out. Maybe he ain't trying to go back down that road, but at the end of the day, somebody else is gonna feel that same exact way. Like, man, they want me to sell out so I can be able to get on the big screen and get Jumanji movies like Kevin Hart. I don't really want to do that. And Mike Epps could have been in these same movies, uh, doing the same exact things, man. He got just as much talent as everybody else. far as I know. When you look at Mike Epps, you don't look at him as being the same guy Day Day in every movie. So that's definitely not he got a lot more talent than that, especially from what I seen. But yeah, as far as him saying, yeah, go clickbait those white folks or them folks. Yeah, I understand what he's saying because not really a messy guy, but he also has to understand like these lower level comedians, these legends who've been putting in work, working every night that never really got the opportunities a lot of these other people get, like people on Friends, they got $1 million a show. Then you got to go the extra mile and Martin on every day on 4, 5, 6, 7 different channels. But you got people they paying Friends to be $1 million a show and stuff like that. Like, come on, man. Like all them people got equal talent on there, getting $1 million. Nah. Back then, $1 million a piece? That mean you should have been giving Martin at least 3 million. So yeah, nah. I mean, I know what he's saying as far as clickbait them folks. But shoot, Weinstein was spoken on up that when Cat Williams went up there. And last time I checked, boy. And also, it's a couple of other people that went up there recently. And I like what Shannon Sharp did in the last interview with Emma Rose. I'll speak on that. He was asking some real questions, so saying as far as what she was saying about Kanye and other people. But yeah, I understand what he's saying as far as clickbait them folks. Yeah, I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? I agree with that. But he also has to understand they don't want you doing that. Once you start doing that clickbait them folks, the only way you can do that to call it out at this point is either do that like I be doing. You got to mix it in, and you also have to go at the people they hire. Which people doing now? People like, man, why they going at Diddy so hard? Bruh, because Clive Davis hired him. That's why everybody going at him. You know what I'm saying? So if you can't get the Weinstein, you gotta get the person under it. Hey, I can't get Weinstein, so hey, they gonna get Oprah. That's how it goes. Somebody gotta spill the beans. If Weinstein ain't gonna spill the beans, you gotta get the person under it. That's just like in the game, in the streets. If you can't get the top guy, what you gonna get? You gonna get the guy in the corner. So it is what it is. That's how it goes.